What the fuck? Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Jkun Presents. Sorry I've been away for a while, but I've been really busy working on some other project. Ha ha ha. Anyway, I'm gonna make this video kind of short and sweet. Well, not really so much short and sweet, but I really want to touch on something right now, and it's been eating away at me for a long time. Capcom's constant screwing of their fans and customers. Now, I have a list right here that I'm just gonna kind of go down of things that have been really ticking me off when it comes to Capcom lately. And the first on the agenda is actually something that you wouldn't really expect, and that's Street Fighter 4. The only reason I reference Street Fighter 4 is because it really kind of started the trend of what I'm about to get into. A few years back, we got Street Fighter 4. Pretty simple, cut and dry. Nothing really to brag about or anything like that. I mean, it's a great game and all. But I want to say a year and a half later, they released Super Street Fighter 4, which gave us some new costumes, new fighters, some balancing issues, so on and so forth. And then, I want to say close to, or maybe a little over a year after that, they released Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, which gave us more characters, more balancing things, and even more DLC costumes for us to friggin' buy. All in all, Street Fighter is a good game, but here's what they did correctly that what I'm going to touch on in a minute continues to fail to do. With Super Street Fighter 4, they released it disc-based. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. If you like Street Fighter all that much, you're going to have to buy the game again to keep recent. With Arcade Edition, they gave you one of two options. If you didn't have the game before, go buy the disc at a discounted price. It has all the content on there ready to go. But if you already had a copy of Street Fighter 4, like I did, the Super version, you could download the arcade version for only $15, like an expansion pack to your game. It was more than half the price. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's less than half the price. And I got all the stuff that people that were shelling out $40 for the disc needed. So that took care of the problem, more or less. But here's where things start going bad. About a year and a half now, we got Marvel vs. Capcom 3. All of us Marvel players have been waiting over a decade for this game. That's no secret. It's pure fact at this point. But the problem is, the product was so rushed that online play was next to impossible. If you're in a lobby, if you're not fighting, you can't watch the other fights, and you just see the players' ID cards basically just banging up against each other until the fight is over. They released 2 DLC characters that nobody gave a crap about, or if you did, you're in a very niche audience. And then you released 2 costume packs that nobody cared about. And less than a year later, I want to say about 6 months, you release Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, okay, you fixed the net play. You gave us a ton of DLC costumes, except Magneto, because apparently that one pissed off Spain. And you gave us spectator mode, something you should have given us in the first place. But now, I'm going to touch on a rumor that just infuriates the hell out of me, and thank God it's only a rumor right now. Looking on the internet, I want to say yesterday, I found a picture that you saw earlier in the video of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 X, supposedly scheduled to release July 3rd, the weekend of EVO, no less. Capcom, being as big into the fighting game community as they are, I'm going to give you enough credit to not be that stupid to release something so soon, that close to that big of an event. Having 3 versions of this game in less than 2 years is absolutely uncalled for. Now, as the rumor mill spreads, they're talking about doing the exact same thing that they did with Street Fighter, where you can get the disc, or you can get the X version as a DLC. Well, right now it's just a rumor, but I'm not going to let my guard down yet, because while Seth Killian, I think Christian Svensson, some of the bigger names in Capcom and part of the fighting game community have debunked this as, yes, it's a rumor, I'm still going to keep my guard up about it, because if nothing else, the rumor just gave Capcom another idea. And that's not an idea I want to see come to life. Next on the chopping block is actually a game that is really new. It's less than 2 weeks old, and that is Capcom's newest addition to the fighting game genre, Street Fighter X Tekken. Now, I've had a little FaceTime with the game. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. But it's really been getting a mixed bag of opinions as far as how the game plays out. And there are certain things about this that definitely need to be addressed. Now, I'm taking a big leap here to discuss this subject, because some of the people that I've seen that have already tried to address it have had their accounts banned. So in order to save myself, I'm not going to be showing any footage of what I'm talking about. Now, the first thing on the list, and this shouldn't be any secret to people who are already playing this game, the DLC characters already on the disc. That is completely inexcusable, Capcom. Now, they're half-assed excuses for stuff like this. Not only the DLCs being on the disc, but Xbox players not being able to play co-op online with a local partner, like you could in Mortal Kombat. The PlayStation people can do it just fine, but the Xbox people will not be able to do this, and they never will be able to, because their excuse is, oh, the net coding and how PlayStation and Xbox handles their online services, it's too different. That doesn't make any damn sense. I own a PlayStation, and I own an Xbox. Other than having to pay for one, and one being more community involved than the other, there is virtually no difference between their networks, other than PlayStation got hacked twice. But it's only a matter of time, Xbox. Sound constantly cutting out in gameplay. All of these issues need to be addressed. The DLC already being on the disc. How dare you make us pay for something that we already own? And Capcom's excuse for this was, let's see here. The content on the disc is there for people that do not buy the DLC to be able to play the people that do have the DLC. Not good enough, Capcom. I'm sorry. Mortal Kombat had a similar issue like this. And you know how they solved it? If you didn't want to buy the DLC characters, fine. Buy our free expansion pack. Completely free. Allows you to play the people that do have the DLC. And on top of that, they sweeten the deal with more costumes. Now, I'll certainly take a new character over new costumes. But if you were one of the people that bought the characters, you got the expansion pack anyway, so the costumes were just thrown in. But giving a player the incentive where, if you don't want to buy this, fine, but get this so you can play the people that do have it, and we're going to give you a little something for your trouble of downloading 200 kilobytes for a patch, solves the problem right then and there. It is no longer an issue. Everybody keeps playing. Everybody's happy. Why can't you do something like this, Capcom? Where, okay, we'll release the characters. I understand they're supposed to be on the beta first, and if you're going to hold them off till then, fine. But don't put them on the disc, especially if they're not finished, as some of these characters have actually been exploited as. Some of these characters are on the disc completely unfinished. Well, if they're unfinished, get them off the disc. Bring them in as DLC. Pure DLC. That's all you needed to do. But no, Capcom seems to have this wild hair up their ass about just screwing us to the wall a little bit more. And if this keeps going on, as big into fighting games as I am, as serious as I am about getting into the pro circuit, I gotta say, crap like this keeps happening, I would really consider boycotting Capcom once and for all. Get your act together, Capcom.